Hey everybody, this is Mike and you're watching the Reelblack podcast. Today we have the honor and privilege of being with some good friends of mine, DJ Handyman
Yes.
and his brother Hezekiah, who have a new project called Colors coming your way.
What are we doing here today? Shoot for Colors. Hezekiah's project Colors. It's gonna be a movie. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Welcome to the abode.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having us.
Glad to be here.
What? Tell us. I see the cards here. Tell us about Colors.
Colors is a 4-album project. These are instrumental albums developed over the course of how long?
I would say the course of almost the pandemic. For about at least 2 years, if not 3.
3 years, yeah. Yeah, but then the instrumentals, the music actually came from Little Africa Studio, which was my last studio that closed right before the pandemic, and these were like this is like the last project of that era or that space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because now it's been 15 years since you've been on Reelblack TV.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Ooh,
Time
that interview,
coming.
buddy boy.
I'm so glad I wasn't on camera
Right.
interviewing you because a lot can change in 15 years.
Sure, yeah, man.
So we have a lot to talk about and fill in the gaps and everything.
Never say never, y'all.
It's we're here. It's happening.
Yeah, man, but we still here. That's the important part.
So I know you had your health challenges, and as we all do in that amount of time. But how did that lead to? Can you talk about that and then how it led to this new burst of creativity?
Okay, so back when our first interview,
With respect, yeah.
13 years ago,
15
years ago. Shout out to Lyrispect also. It's since that interview I was signed to Raucous. Then Raucous went bankrupt, right? So then I was left as an independent artist. Did another album, did a few projects, Ishe, Hezekiah, yet later in years. Then I just, I fell back as a producer and I started concentrating on my band, Johnny Popcorn, which is a rock band. So then I became more local instead of like traveling because I'm with a band. So it's harder to travel with that many people with a new brand. So I rebranded myself. Then around like 2016, I had a brain aneurysm.
Wow.
So that slowed everything down. So I was out of commission for like a year. I went through a spiritual awakening. Near-death experiences, do that to everybody. So after that, man, I just started slowing everything down and putting it all together, of reevaluating my practice, how I'm going about business, how I'm going about life, period. As an artist and as a brother, as a son, as a just functioning person in society.
It was a wake-up call.
It was a wake-up call, for real. Because then I got to see who was really there for me. I got to see where I was as far as like taking care of myself, right, and the capability, the realness, where I really am in life. Right. So,
and it's got to put something on you where it's like, if I should die tomorrow, what do I want the world to remember
That's
me
right.
as?
That's right. So then I started reevaluating everything. How I was going about Beat Society, how I was going about Johnny Popcorn, and who am I in this industry or world, period. You know what I mean? During the pandemic hit on top of that, right? So during the aneurysm, I had mad depression, still moving forward, coming out of the hospital, going back to working out, but my brain is like seeing so much and feeling so much. So I just started like talking to my brother more, because he's always been there for me since I was a kid. Since he's always been the one I could like vent to. We come up with solutions, and so we started bonding more. And then the pandemic hit. And then what happened during the pandemic?
Well, with that came, I went through bed sores, and my mother was mainly the one taking care of me, and then he came down
From Philly
from Philly.
to Delaware.
He was coming back and forth at first, and we always been connected musically all our lives. So he would just talking about he had his batch of music, and he said, I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, at this point the studio was closing. Because I'm going back and forth. I couldn't do sessions anymore. It was so much going on at this time. I just left the studio.
Now, at this time, you were making beats just primarily for yourself, or you
Already had beats. It was just like I was shopping beats
Okay.
to the industry, and it was just like I was doing so much. I didn't have time to shop the beats. And then the pandemic hit. I was like, I don't know what to do with these. Here, just
Right.
take these beats. He separated the beats in batches of 9s. And by
Divine Nine. And it was just a thing of each batch, I noticed had a certain vibe to it. And like I do mixed tapes, which is a lost art, really. But so with me doing that, I always told stories through my music because that's how I traveled. That's how I, journey was through music. So I told a story. And even with instrumentals, every instrument is a different part of my body, so to speak. Like the first music I ever heard was my heartbeat. So I used to play with the stethoscope as a kid. We can get those little toy kits, and I used to listen to it and take it and beat it up against my chest.
Right.
Put it up to my mouth and sing into it. So that was my first feeling of music. Also, being that our family was musically inclined, my uncle, my mother. So I just learned to take things naturally because I couldn't mix like other DJs, like scratch and all that stuff. So started pause cutting. So getting back to the colors thing, I looked at that as to arrange them in a certain way to where it told a story. And then we came up with, over time, it developed into so much. And my brother can tell you more on that end.
Yeah, now colors is an event.
Oh, it's beyond like. So after he put the color before he put the colors together, before he put the albums together, there was a painter named Scene Lewis. Kevin Scene Lewis is from Georgia, and this dude he was down south, and I was judging a beat battle, so he asked me to if he wanted to work together, and I told him that I have a project, but I don't know what to do with it, and It was this project, and we had a 2-hour conversation on the phone. We exchanged some videos, ideas, religions, and all this other stuff. Had a 2-hour conversation, and like a couple weeks later, this is the painting. Yeah.
Okay, we'll cut to a close. But yeah, so wow, it was very ornate. It seems to have so much symbolism.
Yeah, and this is a painting, so every color comes with every album is a different color, and every color comes with an art collection by St. Louis.
Okay.
Like if it's green, he has like 20 paintings, 20 green paintings, and we do events, and they are art exhibits with St. Louis's artists, with St. Louis as an artist, the music, and every color has a film also.
Okay, and I know you have some shows coming up. We should talk about that before we get too far into it.
Yep. June 9th,
2023
is the launch event for Colors. Is the soft launch event for Colors. That will be yellow.
Okay.
So June 10th, then that's June 9th, and June 10th is Philadelphia at the Rotunda. First event is at Wilmington Library. June 9th is at Wilmington Library in Wilmington, Delaware. 2023. 2023, June 10th is at the Rotunda.
Which is 40th and Walnut.
And then we have the 12th in D.C. And that's at a place called Art of Noize.
Okay. So I know that this is a slow rollout for the music, but I mean, like...
We're just testing the waters.
You want people to experience it. Like, you can't just jump on Spotify and say, I heard Hezekiah's album.
Right, because you got to experience the whole thing. It has to be, you have to experience everything. There's music, there's food, there's a panel discussion about each color. There's a health aspect to it. The foods of green, the foods of reds, the foods of yellow, the foods of blue, what does each of them mean? And that's why I don't want really the music to be separated from the project, from the education course, because each color also comes with a film.
Okay. So you went buck wild during this pandemic.
We went crazy during the pandemic, man. We slowed it down and put it all together. We had to slow all this down, and us, like, caretaking for him is like our relationship. We argue.
Yeah, don't get that twisted.
Don't get that twisted.
We
brothers.
We had our, bouts, but we understand each other.
Yeah, man.
The fact that he brought me into this.
The fact that you put it together.
Because I was going to retire because I lost my music.
Oh, your hard drive crashed too at this time. Everything was like...
So that was all, to me, that's all I had left. Because I couldn't go out. So my way of communicating to the world was making my mixes, So when that crashed, I've been doing it for 44 years at this point. So I said, that was it, I was tired. So it was my brother here that said, man, what are you talking about? You're not done, right? And then when these beats came about, because he kept saying, I don't know what I'm going to do with this stuff. I just said, let me have it. Because I'm a collector first and foremost. So I feel that everything has worth. And I always say that we need to tell our own story before somebody else tells it, because they're going to get it the way they perceive it.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what Reelblack is about. Is empowerment, but also legacy. So I mean, we talk about that. Like, so having near-death experience. We're talking to Hezekiah and his brother Handyman, DJ Handyman.
DJ Handyman, yes.
Right. The Zigga.
Just about the latest project, Colors, and working together, and and I guess on a spiritual sense, what music means to them and how it's brought them together and help bond, not just bond them as brothers, but to bond the whole community collectively because it's something that they're sharing.
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah. Like our first events will be catered, catered by Drop Squad Kitchen, Abundance Shout over at Drop Squad Kitchen. So she and her crew are going to present green foods, yellow foods. Yeah, yellow foods for the upcoming events. It's community businesses, community education, community health education, community art education, community communication education. Like coming up with this too, and dealing with my brother. We were talking about Nipsey Hussle, right? Mm-hmm. And we was talking about the marathon theory, right? Right. It's marathon, but then in a marathon, you usually running a race by yourself, Right. We come to the conclusion it's more like a relay race. How you pass the baton to one another in conversation, how you relay to one another, and you could pass it too hard and fumble, and you can set yourself back a pace. You know what I'm saying? So it's that also. It's communication. It's patience.
And I was gonna say something smart. I said, but this is Philly.
But this is Philly.
Sometimes you can stand there for a long time.
Right? Ain't nobody passing nothing.
Hezekiah Colors, interactive art, health, culture, film, education experience, making the community aware of nature as a life principle and their opportunity to be a part of making the planet a better place. Enjoy!